I'm really excited to present to you guys the course on how to make an app that people will pay for. We're going to be talking about how to make those really tough early decisions that matter in the start. So what is this course about? We're going to be focusing on those decisions that you need to make, but we're not going to be focusing on just how to grow a huge app and get loads of downloads. We're really trying to focus on how you can build a profitable app that you can scale up step by step. We're not going to be getting into the tactics of it all in terms of ad strategies or the actual technical build side. I'm not the right person for that. And we won't go into huge depth into the acquisition, activation, retention, monetization side, because there's other courses that will cover that. But instead, by the end of this, you'll be able to make stronger strategic decisions to drive growth. You'll have a clear vision and strategy statement for your app. You'll know which audience you're going to focus on and what their jobs to be done are. And if you don't know what jobs to be done are, don't worry, we will cover it in depth. You're going to understand how to basically approach validation and what are the assumptions you're going to be testing in the beginning. We're going to go high level through your monetization strategy, that you know how you want to approach it initially, and also make sure that you have a focused launch roadmap if you're pre-launch, that you know how to approach that in the best way. And also after you've launched, to look back and see, was this a success or not? Now, who is this course for, and is this the right course for you? We're really focusing here on early stage startups. This doesn't mean you have to have not launched yet, but what it does mean is that you're pre-product market fit. So you haven't worked out quite yet who the right audience is, what the right format is for your app to make sure that you're ready for launch. It's for you if you want to make smarter product decisions. I'm not going to teach you a load of hacks and tricks here. I'm going to teach you the foundational things that will make you better at product strategy and ensure that you have clarity in terms of who you're going to be building for and also what to build for first, because it's really hard in that first phase to know what to focus on. You have a million ideas. You're really excited about what you want to build. Often you've come up with an idea based on a problem you've seen yourself. And it's hard to remove yourself from that situation to prioritize and really focus in on the things that matter. But don't worry, if that's something you want to achieve, this course is perfect for you. We're going to be going through actionable advice. Strategy can be fluffy and vague and broad, and you can leave it feeling like, okay, that all makes sense, but now what? Don't worry, that's not how we're going to approach it here. It's going to be very actionable. Every single section has an exercise for you to work through and to apply what we're doing throughout it all. And that's why it's important that as you follow this course, you show up and you take the time to do the exercises. As much as I love listening to courses and podcasts on the go, this really is a course where you're going to need to take time to sit down and work through it all. But the end result will mean that you have so much more clarity on where your app is going. Who am I? I basically have 11 plus years in helping startups and scale-ups in growth strategy. I've always approached growth from a broad perspective, looking at it holistically to see what actually drives growth and scale. I'm specialized in product growth strategy and really looking at like, how do we fundamentally build something that's going to drive growth versus just using marketing channels to try and push and force growth. And I'm focusing on wellness apps and subscription e-commerce brands. I've actually been working with Revenue Cat for the last 1.5 years, writing blog posts for them, and have written over 40 articles. I'll reference a few throughout for whenever there's a moment that it might be worth deep diving for you to read a bit more about a certain topic if you're interested in learning more. I've also been giving workshops and webinars with them over time. And if you haven't realized already by the amount of times I've said actionable, that's the way I like to approach things. I like to help you through the messy reality of growing startups and make sure you've got actionable step-by-step advice to help you through that. And if you want to check out more of my content, feel free to follow me on LinkedIn or sign up to my weekly newsletter. We're going to go through 5 sections in this course. We're going to start with how you make those early product decisions. This is going to be the most theoretical part of it all, just to basically set the groundwork so that when I'm talking about strategy, you know what I mean when I'm talking about vision, roadmap, that all of that is clear and that we have that same perspective on how we're approaching that. We're then going to be talking about product market fit and talking a bit better about how to define the users you're focusing on, what's the problem you're solving, and what product market fit might look like for you, because it's different for every app. And then we'll discuss why your users choose you. We'll deep dive into really understanding what their journey looks like and how you can position yourself in a way to ensure they're willing to pay for your app. From there, we'll talk a bit more about pricing and that initial monetization. While we won't go deep into monetization strategies, you do have to have an idea. Do you want to start with subscription or one-time purchase? Do you want a hybrid model? What kind of price is even right? You can't just copy your competitors. So we'll walk through that as well. And finally, we'll bring it all together to ensure that you have a focused roadmap to begin with. This doesn't mean just a list of features that you're going to be working on, but rather how to prioritize, how to approach that launch phase, and also understanding the results and what to do next. Launches never go the way you hope, and that's okay. You're not going to get it perfect to begin with. It's an iterative process. So we'll make that a bit easier by helping you plan for the unplannable and how to approach that. As I mentioned before, you will have a product strategy canvas. This is a template that I'll share with you that you can work through step by step, and you'll be filling in these different areas that we walk throughout it. You'll have about a 7-page document by the end of that, which you're welcome to turn into a presentation if you have a broader team that you're working with, or just use as your guideline. Strategy updates over time, so it's not to say this is your forever document, but it's going to give you a really good starting place to ensure you stay focused and note down all the things you learn and understand throughout the course. When you're building a canvas, there's 2 different types of exercises we're going to have. Some exercises you'll see in the top right that are labeled canvas outputs. And what that means is that that exercise goes directly into your canvas. I've tried to make it as easy as possible to work out where to put it. In the canvas, it indicates which exercise it's related to, and in the slides, it indicates which section it's related to as well. There's also a few little working tools throughout it, and those are more supporting parts of it, which might not end up in your canvas, but just help you work through it. So for example, if you end up conducting user interviews as a part of it, that's more a working tool because you won't put all the raw findings of your user interviews into your product strategy document, but you'll use that to define your audience. And so we'll go through that step by step, where in the first section, we'll make sure that you really know your vision, strategy, and focus, and you can put that into the canvas. Then you're going to really evaluate and understand your audience, your jobs to be done, and your positioning before finalizing your monetization and your launch post. So by the end of this course, your canvas should be complete. That's your product strategy document ready to go, and you can use it throughout. Even if you already have a product strategy document yourself, I encourage you to use the canvas and refer back to it and compare to see, is there anything you've missed out? Is there anything you can add in to ensure that it's as valuable as possible? So if you go here to this link, and it'll be also in the resources, you can download the canvas and just use it throughout the course. Now, let's dive in with section 1 and start talking about how to make those early product decisions.